Hello, everybody. Welcome to it. It's continuing action here at the BeNeLux Championships 2025. It is now the International BeNeLux Rookie Cup 2025. And we have 6 athletes in the lineup here for you today that are going to be competing for rookie, well, let's call it rookie fame and rookie vibes, rookie championships, whatever you want to call it. They're going to be up on stage battling in 4 disciplines. That's going to be the stock saw, the standing block chop, the single buck, and the underhand chop. And shortly after this at 2:30 in the afternoon, if our timing holds tight, we will have the men's BeNeLux Pro Championship. Do stick around for that. But before we get to that, we have to get through our rookies. And these are guys that are just getting into the sport. Before that, though, we're going to introduce some of the important people coming up on the stage. This time it's going to be Bart Janssen as our head judge and Andrew Hall helping him out on stage. So those are our 2 judges. And of course, in our competition control center, we have our video judge, STIHL Janssen, who is responsible for keeping a close eye on those high-speed cameras and any of those kind of fiddly little decisions that need to be made. And then, of course, we have none other than the legend himself, Spike Milton, our international sports director for STIHL TIMBERSPORTS. And he will be responsible for overseeing the entire competition as an international event here this weekend. Spike Milton's been given an additional name here today. So, all right, so first coming up onto stage, one of the favorites, Camille van Remdonk from Belgium. He is an absolute beast. He is so talented, and this kid is definitely one of the future stars in STIHL TIMBERSPORTS. There's no doubt about it. Then we have Rune Jacobs from Belgium coming up on the stage. The Belgians are pumping out some very, very talented young athletes. And then we have Kylian Lefebvre, also coming from Belgium. Of Netherlands, Cornelius Kok. He's our local Elvis impersonator. Best hair and chops in the business, no doubt about it. All right, and there we're looking at Zach Powell from Great Britain. But it's going to be Adam Urban coming from Hungary up on stage first. And then he'll be joined shortly after from by Zach Powell from Great Britain.
All the way from Great Britain. En ook hij is er helemaal klaar voor. En we horen de good looks in de verte. Dus heel blij dat we nu van start gaan met dit nieuwe kampioenschap. Heel veel succes aan iedereen, de officials, de atleten. Let's go for this Rookie Championship!
All right, so we have all the important people that we needed to introduce on stage. Let's take a quick look at the competition format for our rookies and how it will work today.
The STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Rookie Competition. All athletes will compete in 4 disciplines. The maximum points awarded for each discipline result from the number of participating athletes. The first discipline is the stock saw. The fastest athlete will receive points equal to the total number of athletes competing, down to 1 point for the last place in each discipline. The second event is the standing block chop. Points remain the same, awarded based on times, and as with all events, any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. As the third discipline, every competitor will need to show their skill in the single buck. And in the underhand chop, it's the athlete's last chance to claim valuable points. The points from all disciplines are accumulated, and the athlete with the highest point total wins the competition.
So who's going to be the winner today? We'll find out after 4 disciplines, but our first discipline, let's check it out. It is the stock saw. Here is the tool and discipline for stock saw.
The STIHL MS661CM stock saw is used in STIHL Timber Sports as the ultimate test of operator skill. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional STIHL technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark, one downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
All right, so there you go. That's stock saw, and that's our first discipline. And our first heat coming on deck will be Kilian Lefebvre and Rune Jacobs. They'll be followed by Cornelius Kok and Zach Powell, and then Adam Urban and Camille van Remdonk. Kilian Lefebvre and Rune Jacobs are the guys in our first heat. Now you can see the world record for the rookies is 8.93 seconds, so that is not a very slow time at all. Kilian has yet to lock in a personal best, and Rune Jacobs has a personal best of 13.53. So there you see Rune Jacobs marking his block with a grease pencil, and that'll just be there to guide him on his way for his first and second cut so that he can line everything up nice and clean within that 10-centimeter mark.
Okay, gentlemen, warm up your saws. Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, very nice start by Kilian Lefebvre. He got into the wood fairly quickly, but he's got a cutout. That's a problem from him. He's going to need to fix that. Oh, but he's got no chance to fix it there because he's made a huge second cookie. Rune Jacobs has 2 cookies on the deck, though. Will both count. Now, we know that that cutout is going to be a DQ for Kilian, so that means no points for him to start things off. And Rune Jacobs, if he has 2, and it looks like they're checking his discs as well. So the nerves seem to be taking over for these gentlemen here on their first cuts. So they're just doing a last check on that cookie to see if they can piece the bits together. They really want to make sure that they've got a clean cookie on the deck before they say it's DQ'd or it counts. So Rune is sweating a little bit there to see if he will have points on the board. Let's find out. We know Kilian for sure is going to have a DQ in this situation. So, decision zone time. Here we go.
Okay, so we have a disqualification on stand 1 for an incomplete disc. However, this cut is good.
So Rune Jacobs gets a personal best, 11.25, and he was sweating bullets there for a short while because it looked like they might have DQ'd him for an incomplete cookie. And that's one of the reasons why the judges took so much time to try and find the bits and pieces here. Now, let's watch Kilian. He cut into that, but the angle of his saw, you could see that cut out immediately. He didn't notice it, repositioning his cut on the up, and he had just too much cookie taken on that upcut, and he didn't really give himself an opportunity to make another cut, so there was no chance for him. And there you can see on the far side of the stage, Rune Jacobs with a clean second cookie, and Killian, I think, noticed that cookie there, but because he didn't have any other chance to make another cut to get a third cookie down and get one on the deck, no chance for him. As we go to our next heat, Cornelius Koch up against Zach Powell. Zach Powell, quite adept with a stock saw in his hand. He knows this discipline quite well. He's very good in this discipline. He just needs to keep his wits about him and make sure he gets two nice clean cuts on the deck.
Jij gaat dat ooit nog bewerkstelligen, daar ben ik zeker van. Ja. De volgende tweede naam, Cornelis, die heeft een tijd van 13, geloof ik. Dat is een personal best. 13 is wat sneller geweest al. Cornelis die komt echt terug van de blessure, dus we gaan kijken wat ze doen.
I just love Cornelius's hair. It is the best thing ever. I can't stop looking at it.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start by Cornelius Koch. Zach Powell got a bit of a thick cookie to start things off. Very nice transition by Cornelius, and he's going to have himself, oh no, he's close to the line. 9.78 national record. I hope that stands because he came close to the line on that upcut. Zach Powell with an 11.32 personal best as well. But Cornelius may well be in trouble as he has been sent to the decision zone at the front there. That first cookie for Zach Powell was a bit of a fatty as well. So let's see if both these count. Cornelius Koch is grinning though. It looks like he's okay.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, so Cornelius Koch and his haircut have got themselves a national record with a 9.68, and a personal best goes to Zach Powell with an 11.68. Great cuts by both these guys here. Really, really nice job. Light swing on the transition to the upcut by Cornelius. Really nice transition, however, by Zach Powell. That first cookie of his was huge, though. Yeah, you can see a beast. Second cookie for Zach Powell was really, really nice, so very, very good cut. All right, heat number 3, we've got Adam Urban and Camille van Remdonk. Remdonk holding the national record for Belgium with a 9.34. Belgium known for amazing, amazing stock sawyers.
Adam Urban en Camille van Remdonk. Heel benieuwd wat deze twee heren tegen elkaar gaan doen. Ik heb Camille wel heel speciale dingen gezien de afgelopen periode. Ja, Camille die heeft, ze zeggen altijd Camille is een natuurtalent. Ook, er is een groot gedeelte natuurlijk.
Our judges, our commentators on stage, which includes Rick van Drielen right now, talking about the natural talent of Camille van Remdonk. So he really is a very, very talented kid. He is an elite field sport, so he's into javelin and shot put and light athletic stuff, and competes regularly there. But he is showing an absolute prowess in timber sports that was not expected from a guy of his stature. And he has a very, very mental process, a very cerebral process. I watched him backstage lifting the saw without having a saw in hand, lifting the saw and placing it and doing all of his axe swings without the axe in hand, making sure that he's mentally visualizing all of his hits and his cuts one after the other. Here we go.
Athletes, ready!
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Wow, thin to win for Camille van Remdonk as he got in there really quickly. Bit of a problem on the upcut, the transition, and he is in trouble on that upcut. And Adam Urban with a national record for Hungary. Great job by him if those cookies stand. Camille van Remdonk, wow, look how close that came to the line. Does he have complete cookies on the deck for points, though?
En Camille staat er natuurlijk poging moeten ondernemen om zijn cookie af te zagen. Dus is de stand op 14,29. We luisteren naar Edwin.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Okay, lucky for Camille van Remdonk. 14:29 is his cut time. Adam Urban with a national record, though. Great job by him to get that cut nice and clean and fast. Unfortunately, the transition for Camille from that really beautiful first cookie, thin as can be, his transition was a little bit chunky. He cut out, and you can see it right there. He repositioned the saw not once, not twice, but 3 times in order to get that final upcut, and that's where he lost a lot of time on the upcut. And you can see repositioning that saw each time to make sure that he was within the line, but also having a complete cookie on the upcut. He came very, very, very close to that blue line. He just kept his wits about him, though. Got a cookie on the deck, which was important for him to get some points, but not the points he wanted to have here. Only 2 points for him. So he is right now in 5th position out of 6 in stock saw, and that is going to be where he sits in the overall standings after this first discipline as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to our next discipline, the standing block chop. Let's take a look at the tool and discipline really quickly.
The axes used in timber sports definitely can't be bought at your local hardware store. Made from special steel, the blade is hand sanded with an angle of 13 to 16 degrees. It's custom built and carefully adjusted for each competition. The weight is around 3 kilos and it's about 80 centimeters long. The blade is so sharp that you could shave with it. Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 27 centimeters has to be cut through from both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
All right, so here we go with our first heat. Kilian Lefebvre going up against Boone Jacobs. Then we're going to see Cornelius Kok and Zach Powell in the heat together, and Adam Urban and Camille van Remdonk again in a heat together. And there you can see at the bottom of your screen the world record, 11.90 for the standing block chop. So I think we're going to see a little bit of redemption here in this discipline from Camille van Remdonk, because he is very, very good in the chopping disciplines. Let's see how Kilian and Rune go in this heat.
Oké. Die hoekjes hebben die dan het geld om zo'n bijl te kopen, of wordt dat ook af en toe uitgeleend in bijl? Als ze daar behoefte aan is, dan krijgen ze inderdaad van de oudere generatie vaak wel een bijl. Ook vooral in België, Timberteam, Nederland, Timberteam.
Okay, last bits of preparation on stage.
Dus daarmee kun je heel mooi beginnen, maar als je al op dit niveau zit met nagaan, bij hoekjes al over het niveau, dan heb je toch eigenlijk al wel 1 eigen bijl waarmee je wedstrijden doet. Top. Goed, wij zijn klaar voor onze eerste heat. Ondertussen werd het podium helemaal geprepareerd en dat zal er eentje worden tussen Kilian Lefebvre en Rune Jacobs. Er staan nog geen personal bestzijden bij deze jongens. Is dat dan de eerste keer dat ze deze opdracht gaan uitvoeren? Dat kan, of zit het over de tijd?
Okay, The boys are
Okay,
lined
gentlemen.
up. Here we go.
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Right away getting into it. Decent pace by both of these gentlemen. Kilian Lefebvre on the far side. Rune Jacobs right in front of you there. Rune Jacobs seems to have a really nice pace. Big skip from his axe, though. And good that he held on to that thing. That is a dangerous situation. You got to really be paying attention to the angles of your drivers as they go into that block. But Rune Jacobs looks good as he gets into that first side. Kilian Jacobs looking very good as well. Or Kilian Lefebvre, I'm mixing the guys' names up here. Look. And a bit of a skip there from Rune Jacobs as well on that second side. So both of them working hard on that second side. Now a little bit of salad by Kilian Lefebvre on that first side, so that might give him a little bit more chunk to get through. And Rune Jacobs got himself a season's best, personal best of 46.86, and Kilian Lefebvre with a 52.56, a personal best there as well. Very, very nice cuts from both these guys.
Ik denk dat het geholpen heeft. Als je kijkt naar die tijden, toch weer bijgesteld ondertussen voor Kilian 52.29 en die van Rune 46.61.
Dat is een mooie tijd zetten. Dan ga je je nu focussen.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, times are now official there. We see 52.29 and 46.61, and a season's best, personal best for Rune Jacobs. Very, very good job. You can see in the replay as well, both of these guys, oh, a big skip right there from Rune. But both of these guys really with pace at that block, making those drivers count each and every time. You can see here a little bit of the targeting for Rune, but the power was there and he got through it. Great job. He was pleased about that one. And that final driver from Kilian, good job. All right, heat number 2. Cornelius Koch against Zach Powell. So tail of the tape definitely has the advantage going to the Brit. Zach Powell with a time of 38.61. Cornelius Koch just shy of the time limit of 130 at 126.83. So he's going to have his work cut out for him here in this heat to try and keep up with the British man, Zach Powell, and get himself a good personal best time. But as we've seen, improvements do come quick and fast with the way that the wood has been cutting this season. We just hope for Cornelius that it cuts well for him. Cornelius limping a little bit. I hope that he's okay. It seems like that right leg, he's favoring it a little bit. His foot maybe.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Right into it. Zach chipping out nicely there. Cornelius, oh, he's got some power in there as well. Cornelius moving over to the other side of his block. Zach about 2 drivers behind him on that second side now. This might bode well for Cornelius Koch here, and we might see a personal best for him as he slipped that axe through a little bit. He's got to be careful, keep control of that axe as he's getting close to the end here. Zach Powell, some nice big chips coming out of his block now as well. But Cornelius Koch is very close to it, and he may well have a very quick time here compared to his previous time. Let's see if he can get through there. Zach Powell getting close to it as well. 1 or 2 more drivers for both of these guys. Zach Powell 52.28. Cornelius Koch getting close to the 1 minute mark as he's now getting tired and driving in straight. Takes a quick look, and no, it's not going to happen in under a minute as he's hitting new wood every single time here now, and he needs to get through there. He should have a best time. He needs to get through it though, and 1 more driver should do it for him. There it goes. Yes, he's done it, a personal best 1:17.59. He needs to work on his tactics a little bit and making sure he gets clean through on that first side and then really focuses on how he's cutting at angle on the second side so he doesn't try and cut new wood every single time. But still, nice to see a personal best there from Cornelius. Very, very good job.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Maar de beide cups worden goedgekeurd.
All right, so you can see both guys got into that first side quite nicely. Final driver there from Cornelius. Yeah, and he knew it. He knew it right away. He made a couple of new cut mistakes on there, but that's what this is all about. It's about gaining experience in competition and knowing what things you need to change in order to make sure you are right there when the time comes to really put it into the wood and make it count properly. So this is going to be an experience for both these guys. And especially good for Cornelius because he did get himself a personal best, so he did improve, but you could see a couple of the drivers were a bit too close to his body and not far enough onto the other side of the blockade. You could see that during the replay, and actually in competition, he looked over onto the other side to see where he needed to cut, and these are the kinds of things that need to be automated as time goes by. All right, next heat coming up. Our stage crew has done an excellent job of getting those stands in place for our final two athletes in heat number 3 here with Adam Urban and Camille van Remdonk. Look at the time from Camille van Remdonk. Not that far away from a world record there at 12:48. Very, very impressive cutter he is. Absolutely fantastic. Adam Urban with a 33:54 personal best. So he'll be looking to improve on that today, and as we've seen all season long, improvements do come fast and heavy. Camille van Remdonk, as was mentioned earlier, is one of those rare natural talents that comes along and just seems to have a way with the axe in hand. He is such an excellent cutter.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Right away, you can see the pace. Look at the pace from Van Remdonk. Unbelievable. 5 or 6 hits on the first side, switches to the second side. He really wants to have a world record here. My goodness, it's not going to happen, but how quick was that? Holy smokes, the season's best from Camille van Remdonk, 14.58. Adam Urban just passing the 20-second mark on his second side now. Oh my goodness, that was quick from Camille van Remdonk though. Unbelievable speed that he went through that block on. Couple more drivers here for Urban, and he does it in 35.08. Holy smokes, folks, what was that from Camille van Remdonk and his banana blade? Unbelievable. I hope our slow-mo cameras caught that first couple of hits there from Van Remdonk on his first side. I think he had like a maximum of 6 or 7 hits on that side. We'll have to count them.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, there we go. So season's best fun, Camille van Remdonk. Oh, wow. That was quick. He barely cut into it. Let's see. So let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that was it. He moved over to the other side. 6 hit first side. That's an incredible start for Camille van Remdonk. Yeah, he'll take the season's best, but he really wanted that world record. I think that he was working hard to try and get it. That is a tough one. All right, so Camille van Remdonk with the fastest time by about 20 seconds in that first heat, wins standing block chop. Let's take a look at how that changes the overall standings here. Adam Urban with a solid 10 points, stocks off 5. and standing blocks chop 5 points, so second place in both those disciplines. So that puts him in first place by 2 points, just ahead of Camille van Remdonk and Rune Jacobs, who is tied with 2 other guys in third with 7 points each, and that's Zach Powell and Cornelius Koch. Okay, next discipline is our single buck. Let's take a look at the tool and discipline for what's coming up.
The 2-meter-long cross-cut saw used for the single buck discipline is made especially for competition. A series of consistently patterned 10-centimeter-long teeth are cut with a laser on one side of the saw and then hand sharpened. Saw teeth are divided into 2 types, cutters and rakers, just like on the old-school saws. The saw weighs about 5 kilos and its base price starts at around 1,500 euros. Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
Okay, single buck, which I think is probably one of my favorite disciplines. It requires elegance, it requires rhythm, it requires pace, and it requires power. It's just got a lot that you have to have in order to really cut clean. So Kylian Lefebvre and Cornelius Koch will be our first athletes on stage for this discipline. Cornelius holding the national record for rookies for Holland, 25.38 seconds. Kylian yet to score a personal best, so he needs to cut through to get that. And as long as he is under the allotted 1 minute time, then he will run with that today. Cornelius making placement here. And he too opting for a thin outside cookie line. Meanwhile, Kylian Lefebvre doing math. You can see using a grease pencil to mark his foot placements and make sure that he's got everything as he wants it to be. And you can see there, Cornelius has actually got the saw very close to the outside. So as I mentioned earlier on, in our women's competition, the risk is that you can break that cookie off at the bottom of the cut with a twist of the saw. The advantage is that the cookie on the outside of the cut doesn't bind as quickly or as hard on the saw during the cut. So Kylian's saw is set, Cornelius' saw is set, final adjustments, and we are ready to go.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, good start by both guys. Kylian getting a little bit hooked up on a push through there. Cornelius Koch, meanwhile, oh, the misery whip shows its hind legs there as Cornelius got it a bit stuck and bent that saw on the push through. And now Kylian Lefebvre has the advantage coming through to the bottom of this cut. Oh, yep, he's got it. A personal best, 20.72. A very nice cut and another national record by Cornelius Koch. Great job there. And a nice way to start off our single saw competition. A personal best and a national record. I don't know if that national record's going to stand, though. It has to. Let's see.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
It will. So Cornelius Koch gets himself a national record at 24.75, and Kylian Lefebvre sets the pace with a fantastic 20.47. Good start. You can see here, really similar styles to start things off. Short, choppy cuts, but the pace was pretty quick for both of them. For Cornelius, it was just an issue at the top of his cuts and a couple of times where the saw stopped and bowed a little bit. You can see right here, it was a little bit slow. And meanwhile, Killian just kept that saw moving. There was one of the stop cuts for Cornelius. And it's just about making sure you keep that saw running straight. No angle changes, nothing like that. And right at the bottom, just one final draw through and a push. And that was it for Cornelius. He was still fast enough to get that national record. So good job by both of these guys. Nice cuts all around as we set up for our second heat between Rune Jacobs and Zach Powell. Tail of the tape definitely gives the advantage to Zach Powell here with a 12.42. Rune Jacobs with a 37.74. We've seen boys are cutting well today, so let's see if that stands to win here with our next heat coming on deck. Rookie world record, 9.01 seconds.
Je ziet ook op badstippers lopen. Je ziet ook dat het hier Lage Vuursche en Zee is. Nee, absoluut niet. Ze hebben spikes schoenen aan. En als je daarmee over het zaal loopt, dan worden die spikes die worden bocht. En vandaar dat
we can see that Rune Jacobs is wearing spiked shoes. We'll see that some athletes will, some athletes won't. It's personal preference. The spiked shoes tend to give you a little bit more grip on the floor here. And allows you to really push off of that back foot, utilize your core strength, and really rotate those hips through as you push and draw that saw through the block. All right, here we go.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good start by both guys. A little bit of a sticky one there by Rune Jacobs. Zach Powell, though, has got pace. Nice thing to see here with Zach Powell is he is cutting using the entire length of the saw. That is a great time. Fastest time of the day so far by Zach Powell at 13.12 seconds. Really, really clean cut. And Rune Jacobs getting to the bottom of his cut with 2 sticky ones, but he's got himself a personal best of 23.49. Also a very nice cut. So far, so good. And a great run by all 4 athletes so far. And out of the 4, 3 with personal best. And one of the guys is taking away a national record in that mix as well.
Heel mooi gedaan, maar ook van Zach Powell, dat was niet vergeten, bijna zijn personal best heeft geëvenaard.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, a personal best and a very nice time by Zach Powell, which puts him in first place in the single buck as well as first place in the overall standings. You can see here different styles. Zach Powell opting to go for complete length use of the saw, and that is really efficient. And if you can have that and some pace, you're really a dangerous sawyer here. Good job, though, by Rune Jacobs. Very nice cut by him as well. Zach Powell is going to be pretty pleased by that cut, even though it's not a personal best, fastest time, and he has set the pace today for our single saw discipline. And you can see that right there with Rune was just the perfect example of why they call it the misery whip. The saw stops, it bends a little bit, and the risk there is if it bends the other direction, it could break off the cookie, and then you got a problem. Okay, Camille van Reemdonk up against Adam Urban, and as you see, Camille holds that national record. Now, I watched him air training this discipline earlier on. Air training means visualizing and going through the movements and putting his feet in that position and really making sure that he sees exactly what he wants to see before he comes up onto stage. And as I mentioned earlier, he is a very cerebral athlete as well as being incredibly physically fit. So these two things together create the absolute perfect storm when it comes to these disciplines. Let's see if that storm can create some fun or if it's just drama.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice start by Adam and Camille. Very clean by Camille van Remdonk. Oh my goodness, a little hookup at the bottom, and he's got himself a 10.87, and that hookup cost him a personal best. But it's a good time that puts him on top of the single buck, with Adam Orban slipping into third place with a 14.23. These times are still unofficial, but right now, that is the way it looks for the single buck.
Okay, congratulations. Both cats are good.
Okay, so Adam Orban with a personal best 14 even, and Camille van Remdonk with a 10.68, and that moves him into first place in single buck and first place in the overall standings here for our rookies. You can see here really using the entire length of that saw. He's going knuckles to bolts here. And that little hookup right there cost him a personal best, but still got to be happy with that time. Under 11 seconds, so that's a very, very nice cut from Camille van Remdonk. And he kind of said, yeah, maybe okay. And there, real good finish from Adam Orban. Okay, so single buck results. Camille van Remdonk just ahead of Zach Powell, who is sitting in second place with a 12.89, and Adam Orban in third place with a 14 even. All the rest of the guys are around 9+ seconds off the top pace there. 6 seconds difference between third and fourth, and there we are with the overall standing. So Camille van Remdonk, Adam Orban, and Zach Powell 1, 2, and 3, with one more discipline to come, and that is the underhand chop. So our stage crew working quickly up there to make sure that the stands are in position. Let's take a look at the tool and discipline for the underhand chop, or rather just the discipline.
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes use an axe to cut through a 30-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
So there you have it, the underhand chop, our final discipline for our rookies today, and then we will get things set up for our pros coming later on in the afternoon at 2:30. So underhand chop, Kilian Lefebvre going up against Rune Jacobs, then Cornelius Koch against Zach Powell, and Adam Orban against Camille van Remdonk. And there you can see the underhand chop world record, very, very quick. 12.24 seconds. Season's best, a little bit slower at 17.32. Let's see if somebody can snap that today, as we have two Belgians going up against each other to start off this underhand chop competition.
Ja, zeker en vast. Het simuleert het vellen van een boom, maar dan in horizontale richting. Dat is inderdaad het grote verschil met de verticale standing workshop. We gaan even kijken naar de eerste twee die het deze ziet. Dat zijn Kilian Lefebvre en Rune Jacobs, een Belgische onderlandse. Hoe vaak krijgen die rookies eigenlijk niet? Hoe vaak krijgen die rookies eigenlijk?
So this is an opportunity here for our athletes to gain some valuable points here for the season standings, as well as for the standings here in this competition today.
Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we are underway with the underhand chop. And Rune Jacobs right away getting some nice big chips lined up to get out of the way. He's doing a good job. Kilian on the other side, looking very good there as he gets onto that first side, but Rune Jacobs getting nice and deep on that first side, should probably switch to the other side fairly quickly, I would expect, and there he goes onto that second side. Kylian Lefebvre still working on that first side. Rune Jacobs getting into that second side now, chipping out nicely. I would expect that he'll be through fairly quickly. Kylian Lefebvre going very deep on that first side, doing some final house cleaning before he moves over to that second side. 1:30 is the time limit, and Rune Jacobs gets himself a personal best 45:19. Kylian Lefebvre cutting narrow on the second side. Will it be enough to get him through quick in under a minute? I don't think it's going to happen here, but let's see what his time will be, as he's still trying to find his line through, and one more should do it. Oh, it's going to be two. No! What's happened there? Yes, now he's got it in 1:10.21, so that's a personal best for him. Good job. And Rune Jacobs setting the pace here today with a 45:19. Both guys getting a personal best, so a nice start into the underhand chop here.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, so both cuts made official there by Andrew Hall, our head judge on stage here in this second competition of the day. You can see there Rune Jacobs, some really nice drivers into that block. It took Kylian a long time to get over to that second side, and I think he was thinking about going deeper on the first side and then not having to do as much work on the narrow cut through the second side as that final driver for Rune goes through. And then we could see here a couple of hits more than he thought were required to get through for Kylian, but he managed to get a personal best. And we go on to our next heat with Cornelius Koch and Zach Powell.
En ook op het feit dat er natuurlijk internationale toppers aan zo'n rookie championship deelnemen. We denken uiteraard ook aan Zach Powell, die ook in deze heat gaat laten zien wat hij kan.
So Zach Powell setting up here, going up against Cornelius Koch, who's air hitting on a couple there just to get his timing right.
Okay, gentlemen. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Zach Powell going for pace on his hits. Cornelius Koch looking for the power and the alignment. His targeting is very nice. Oh, Zach Powell, though, deep on that first side. He switches to the second side in under 15 seconds, and he moves onto that second side and starts chipping out a nice open face, and should be through fairly quickly. What will his time be is the question, as he keeps working from left to right to left to right. Cornelius Koch gingerly moving over to the second side of his block now. Zach Powell, a couple more drivers to get through there, as you saw it wiggling and waggling, and he is through in 34.61. Very nice time for Zach Powell. That puts him on top of the underhand chop rankings. Cornelius Koch nearing the 45-second and just passing it now, as he still works to get through that second side. And there he goes, 53.42. A very nice personal best for Cornelius Koch. Great job.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
All right, Zach Powell setting the pace now for this one with a 34.38, as he got into that block very quickly, reminiscent of the Australian style of chopping, going for really quick, frequent drivers into the block, and you can see he's barely bringing that axe up high, and then switches over to that second side quickly. So opting for pace instead of accuracy, hey, whatever works. It'll get you through that block quickly. And in this case, it very much did get him through that block quickly in 34.38 seconds. Great job by Zach Powell here today. All right, final heat here, and there we see a couple of good times in the personal best list. Adam Urban, 22:30, and Camille van Remdonk, a 17:93. And as I said, the kid holds all the national records for the rookies for Belgium. So he is a future superstar of this sport. I promise you that. Okay, nice crowd joining us here as well for our rookies. And of course, you can get involved in the discussion and conversation online at #STIHL TimberSports if you're so inclined. All right, last block getting set in place here for our final heat, heat number 3, and the final heat for our rookies. Following that, we'll do the awards ceremony. Then we'll have a little bit of a break until 2:30 in the afternoon, so 14:30, and that is when our men's pro championship will be up here on stage at the BeNeLux Championship 2025 STIHL TimberSports. So do join us for that as well. But one more heat to go here for our rookies. The underhand chop coming up with Camille van Remdonk and Adam Urban. Adam has been a very pleasant surprise here today. The Hungarian showing steady skill, good consistency throughout the entire competition, and a second, and a third. Solid positioning here for him so far today.
Okay, gentlemen, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, right into it immediately. Camille van Remdonk. Look at the pace that he is using to cut through on that first side. Switches quickly to the second side after 9 seconds. And he is on a mission here. Adam Urban about 2 strokes behind Van Remdonk on the second side. And Van Remdonk is through in 18.73 seconds. A fantastic cut from Camille that puts him atop the leaderboard for underhand chop, and a 27.48 for Adam Urban. That puts him in second place in the underhand chop, and that bodes well for both of these guys because it means that both of them will be atop the leaderboard in the overall standings. We'll take a look at that and see if it's made official shortly here, but that was a great heat.
Both cuts are good.
Both cuts made official and good there. 27.25 for Urban and an 18.56 for Van Remdonk. Two of these guys performing at the highest level for the rookies here today. Let's take a look back at the start for Camille van Remdonk as he just went into it. He did not have any love for that block at all as he was jamming that axe into it as quickly and as frequently as possible. Final driver here for Camille as he is through in a very nice and solid 18 point change, 18 and change. And Adam Urban also with a very nice cut. So here we go. 18.56 for Camille, 27.25 for Adam, and Zach Powell at the third fastest there with a 34.38. And that would mean in our overall results, we have Camille van Remdonk on the top spot, Adam Urban in second place, and Zach Powell in third place. Then we have Jacobs, Koch, and Lefebvre. Oh, there you go. Final results up, and our winner today is none other than Camille van Remdonk And we'll have the awards ceremony on stage shortly. And then we'll take a little break and be back at 2:30 for our Men's Pro Championship.
En wij zijn zo meteen klaar voor de prijsuitreiking van dit Rookie Championship.
Rick, wanneer zien we jou nog eens op het podium van STIHL TIMBERSPORTS?
Ik hoop volgend jaar. Ja, volgend jaar is een speciale editie denk ik voor TIMBERSPORTS. Want er bestaat STIHL 100 jaar, 2026. En dan hoop ik toch wel in het team te kunnen komen eigenlijk. Want daar doen we het ook voor. En dat je dan weer
All right, just the final setups for the awards ceremony on stage, and we'll invite all 6 athletes that participated in our BeNeLux International Rookie Championship, or Rookie Cup, I should say, up onto the stage shortly here.
de mannen vandaag inderdaad de strijd natuurlijk voor het BeNeLux-kampioenschap. Wat je weer aanhaalt natuurlijk. Maar ook het team is heel belangrijk. De estafettes die we daar op het WK mogen doen. Dus dat is extra dingetje waar we voor strijden.
Ja, moet je natuurlijk ook perfect op elkaar ingespeeld zijn tijdens die team-estafette. Dus het is zoals Rick om te zeggen, niet alleen individueel, maar ook als team belangrijk om te blijven groeien in deze competities. Ja. En ondertussen is het eerste estafette al klaar op het podium. En gaan we meteen over naar de awards ceremony.
Okay, so coming up on stage there, we see John Bosmans and Atalia Gross, both from STIHL, and they will be providing the prize bags and awards here to our athletes coming up on stage. And so we will now bring our athletes up on stage from 6th all the way up to our podium positions.
Dankjewel aan jullie publiek om zo talrijk aanwezig te zijn en onze atleten steeds aan te moedigen. Het doet er veel plezier en ik ben er zeker van dat ze op die manier gelukkig.
All right, so let's start with our 6th place athlete, Kylian Lefebvre.
Van de International BeNeLux Rookie Cup 2025 op de 6e plaats voor België, Kylian Lefebvre.
So with the exception of a DQ in the beginning at the stock saw, Kylian was very consistent throughout the day. And these are things that are going to improve as time goes on. And again, this is about the experience for these guys. Next up is Cornelius Koch. He had a great stock saw and a very solid underhand chop, dropping a little bit in the standing block and the single buck. And the single buck was purported to be his strongest discipline, but unfortunately it didn't work out for him today. All right, 4th place now goes to Rune Jacobs. Rune again was very consistent throughout the day. Underhand chop, he was solid, getting a 2nd place there. And 14 points in total. And in fact, close to a tie with our next 2 guys. Zach Powell in 3rd place in our bronze medal. And then you can see pretty happy about being on the podium there in the bronze medal position with 14 points total. So, 2nd place goes to Adam Urban. Adam Urban with 14 points. My system hasn't been updated. Those points are incorrect. My apologies, folks. But Adam Urban is in 2nd place there in the bronze medal position. And now our number 1, our gold medalist for today, and our rookie champion here, it is Camille van Rempdonk.
Graag gedaan, Camille. En even nog een handshake van de andere atleten. Want zo zijn de sporters onder elkaar sportief, transparant, eerlijk en met respect voor de sport. En daar staat hij, op het podium, Camille van der
So serious throughout the competition, and then his clown comes out once he gets into that position. And this is going to be a position that he's going to have to get used to, because as I said, that is a natural talent up there. Camille van Remdonk, Adam Orban in second place, and Zach Powell in third, as we have the national anthem for Belgium. So big congratulations as they fake shower everybody. Again, keeping that stage dry for the competition that's coming a little bit later on. We'll get all 6 guys up on the podium for a photo opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed our first 2 competitions of the day, our Women's International Cup and our Rookie International Cup. Coming up at 2:30 in the afternoon, just about 2.5 hours away from right now, or 1.5 hours, excuse me, is going to be our BeNeLux Men's Pro Championship. Please do come back and join us for that. In the meantime, enjoy the highlights of our rookie competition, and we'll see you a little bit later.